Welcome, everybody, to the second episode of the Triumph Over Burnout Mum series over here on the Breakout from Burnout podcast. I'm your host, Aisha Mohammed, the burnout coach for mums, and I help women who are currently experiencing burnout to be able to turn that around by bouncing back, having a look at the causes and giving strategies and things that they can do to be able to kiss burnout goodbye. And I'm here today with a guest, and her name is Michaela Hornak. She has a very, very interesting story. Now, let me just lay the background of this podcast series. In becoming a life coach, I really wanted to have a look into the different experiences of women. And in doing that, there were some key things that were coming up, and also the need for more awareness, because burnout is something that used to be germane to the workplace. But now what's been found is that it can happen to anyone in any environment. I decided to look at mums because mums have an added responsibility of being a mum, having to always think about their children and take into account how whatever they're going to do is going to impact them. So I put this podcast together to raise awareness of what burnout actually is and how it shows up in your life. Because you can be a stay-at-home mum and suffer from burnout. You can be a carer and suffer from burnout. You can be a student. It can just show up in your relationship, and that's something that comes up a lot when speaking to women and working with clients in regards to burnout. Okay, so it's to be able to recognize what it is, what are the signs, and how do you know that you are actually suffering from burnout, and what you can actually do about it. And these women's stories actually show us that something can actually be done about it because they did something about it. So let me delay no more. Welcome, Michaela. How are you?
Oh, hi, Isha. Thank you. I'm very, very well. I wouldn't be said it better than you did about the burnout. It's happening everybody, and now more than ever. That's what I also see in my clients and in my close friends and family. So yes, thank you for doing this podcast. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for coming forward to actually be on here and to share your story. Now, storytelling is something that allows us to build connection and let people know that, look, you're not alone, okay? It could be worse, or it could most definitely get better, because this is how it's turned out for me. So Michaela's got a very interesting story that I'm going to ask her to share with us, okay? So Michaela, tell us about your burnout. How did it start?
As you know, I suffered three burnouts, but the third one wasn't burnout as such, but I come to that. So the first one was when I lost my mum. I was 17, 2 weeks before Christmas, and I was very close to my mum. So losing the mum, being bullied through my life, like how I look and all of that, because that's another topic which many suffering in life. My burnout was inevitable. For 2 years, I had to build this persona. I am the great with the grieving, I'm doing everything fine, yes, I'm on top of everything. But inside, when I shut the door in my home, it was a different story. I was feeling so low, so depressed. At one point, I was feeling suicidal because I didn't see the way out. There was no way out. How do I get out of this persona, which everybody saw me as being this, oh, you lost your mom, how really good you do. It was so pressurizing. We're talking about over 20 years ago. This was the first time 20 years ago. It was so hard to cope with.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a kind of like a light moment, like the aha moment, when I realized this is not what I wanted to do. And as I said to you, when I was suicidal and didn't see the way out, it came to my mind that if I die, if I do anything, my mom will come and haunt me. And I know this sounds crazy, or maybe for some people silly or stupid, but this is how I had my aha moment. I wanted to change my life. So from that day onwards, I started working on myself. But it wasn't the big step, because so many people, and I saw it in my life, they do the big step, the big move, and they wanted to change right now, right here, right now. But what I decided to do, I'm going to do the small steps. So it was kind of like rebirth, like a baby. I started doing the small steps. Did I fall? So many times. But I always fall forward, because I got up. Okay, why did I fall? Oh, because of this. Okay, so let's move on to another step, and so on. I moved to another country without any English at all. I'm originally from Slovakia, no English at all. And I started to build myself there as well. So I arrived in March in 2005. And within 1 year, I built myself to look after the VIP clients. Okay. I was the right hand for them to, it was in the catering, to organize all the teas, coffees, buffets, dinners, and everything like that. I was very close to working between the VIP guests to the manager team. Okay. So I started to build myself again. And it was just another kind of roller coaster, which was great. But then again, down the line, I met my amazing husband, and it comes to my second burnout. We were a young family. We moved back home. We got back here in the UK. We started all over again. But what happened, again, as a young family, as a mum, I didn't know what to do as a mum. I was a first-time mum, and I had a beautiful 2-year-old daughter. But what do? You go to work, you cook, you clean, you do the daily things. And I loved doing that. We were living on £1 a day, okay? And I was still holding this amazing, we can do it. We did it. People's like, oh my God, how do you do it? Well, simple. I was really focusing how we're going to spend the money and what we're going to use the money, how. So I'm very good at organizing the money aspect, because that's another key point to the burnout. People see money is the key to have a clarity, to burnout, to depression, to anxiety. The core is the money. I don't know what you're going to say, Isha, but to me,
money is a tool. Yeah, it's a tool. It gives you options, doesn't it? And when you don't have enough of it, you can feel quite squashed, and restricted. Exactly. And that's the thing that causes the stress. It becomes like a suppressive type of energy that's in your life. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also, people say like enough, but what it is enough? So, I learned how to overcome this. Is this enough? Is it £1 enough? Or is £20 enough? Or £100 enough? What is it enough? So I learned how to draw the line, how to come and cope with all of this. So that time we packed everything into the van and moved 250 miles away from one place in England to completely another place in England. Where we start again from scratch. But always our move, I'm kind of like I'm moving quite a lot, to be honest. I moved for past 17 years about 18 times.
So, oh wow, I mean, I've moved quite a bit in my life. But I think you've exceeded the amount of times I've moved. Wow. Can I just ask you, what does moving signify for you? What does that do for you every time you're moving?
When I move, I always go forward and always to a better place. Okay. It was always a better house, better rental, or we brought a house. Like now, this is the third, I moved again, but that's hopefully it's for a long time. But when we moved the 250 miles, like back into another place, we moved to the flat and then to the house and to another house. And then we brought our house. So moving, people are usually scared. Oh my God, moving and seeing is so stressful. I don't.
Right.
First of all, I declutter the house, always declutter, which if you declutter the house, you clear your mind. When you have your mind clear, you prevent you from burnout, from, all of the depression, anxiety. It helps you build your strength, because you're kind of always on the toes. Like, okay, what can I do? And I always sell it on, other platforms. I always make some money from the stuff. So it was kind of like very nice turnaround. So we moved, we start again, like from scratch. My husband built amazing business of his own. I started working, and then I decided that it's not what I wanted to do. I don't want to work for anybody, and I started my own business through the pandemic. You know, but before all of these nice stuff, we wanted to have another baby, and we were trying for a baby for about 2 years, and it didn't happen. And we went to doctors. It's just like, you know, is there anything? And then the roller coaster of all the testing and everything started. And it ended up that the chances for me to get pregnant was about 4 to 5%. Like naturally, we will need like IVF. And I start to control myself. I become a control freak. Okay. Measurement, all the tests, you name it, I've done it. That leads me to a massive burnout because I lost who I am. I didn't know who I was anymore. Everything was like about these kind of tense feeling. This is what it is. This is the only thing that can matter. Was nothing. It was like you have like, you know, when horses have the thing on the eyes so they can just see straight. This was like me. You know, I didn't see it outside of the box. I didn't see the bigger picture. And then I said, no. You know, I went through an operation because I had ectopic pregnancy. It was 21st of December. And I went for a scan, and they said, well, it's ectopic, you have to have an operation. This was just after 7 a.m. And I'm like, excuse me? And everything crumbles. I've got a child at home, a husband, everything just crumbles. So it took me a couple of months after the operation. Then I said, no, enough is enough. I'll go back. And again, I draw the line and I start doing step by step to pick up where I left it. And I moved forward again. It wasn't easy. It wasn't something that, you know, oh my God, you're so happy now. Yes, I did the work before. I went through the horrible time in my life. I pick up myself and start working on myself. I'm very big fan of journaling, gratitude list, listening podcasts, you know, motivation, music, move your body. This is how I started. I didn't hire a coach. I didn't know anything about any of this, you know, and it's not long time ago when, you know, the coaches were available back in then, but I didn't know about it. If I knew, I'll go and hire one because I can prevent myself from so many backslash, I would say, because the coach is there for you to hold your space, you know. You're holding to your mums, you know, when they have the burnout, you're holding the space, you're helping them to overcome the burnout much quicker than they will do it on their own. I did all this on my own. Helped my husband, I have to give him a credit. He's an amazing man, you know.
That's wonderful.
I have a great husband, I must say. Yes, we have our blips, we have our, you know, disagreements and everything is anywhere, but we hold it together. We are very good as a unit. We are very good, like, connection between us. He is good at things, I'm good at other, and we're just connecting really well. So I have to give him a credit. You know, he stood by me all the time.
Give credit where credit's due. Yes.
Yeah. He did. No, you know what? No, he did. He deserves to have a credit. And I find it that not many women give a credit to their husband or the partners.
Yes.
They are there for us. Yes, he might not be the perfect one. None of us are perfect, but he was there, you know, by my side for all of that. Because I had to look at also myself, what I was doing, how I was doing these things, how I was acting and everything. So I started working on myself again. We bought a house and all of a sudden, boom, I've become pregnant. So now I have a 3.5-year monkey running around, you know, so it can happen, but you have to let go. You know, and I allow myself, which is a massive thing, I allow myself to heal from all these wounds, what happened to my life. Lost mum in very young age over a cancer, you know, going through a cancer myself when my older daughter was 3 years old, you know, moving, going through, you know, ups and downs in my marriage, then workplace, you name it, you know. So now through the pandemic was the time when I said, no, I'm going to do what I do best. I'm going to get people's clarity because that's what they need. And recently, as you know, we were moving again, but, you know, okay. It's okay. And for the move, I decided something wasn't right, and I can feel it. Something wasn't right with me. So I took a step back. I went off of the social media. I wasn't posting. I wasn't engaging. I didn't have a client. So I basically blocked off a time. And for 2 weeks, was looking for myself, after myself.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back a little bit. What was the actual signs that made you say, hold on, I'm not feeling right, for you to then put something in place to address that? What was you feeling? What was you actually going through? What was up with you?
For me, because I had all the trainings and everything, and because I've been in a burnout twice before, I lost the joy of posting stuff. It wasn't kind of me. It wasn't in alignment with me. I just posted because I had to post. I did, the reels because, you have to do this. And then I was sitting in the office for some couple of hours. Nothing will come out of my mind. I was like, oh my God, I need to do something because I had to do something. I started, I must do stuff. I have to do this because of, it wasn't like, I wanted to go and do it. It wasn't the excitement I had before. Okay, what am I going to do today? This is not feel right, but I've put it no because you can feel right later. It becomes more or less, oh God, what do I do now? What is going to feel right? I start to feel low and low and low. My vibration was getting low. I was more snappy. Nothing was the right, didn't feel right. And I was just like, whoa, hold on a second. Then again, I can feel it in my home, like with my husband, we were disconnecting again. Because I will start to see these little things he is doing and it will irritate me. But he wasn't doing nothing different. He was doing everything as before, nothing different. And I was like, hold on a second. It starts irritating me more on daily basis and more than once. So then was the time I was like, okay, yes, movement is a stressful and can be, depends. But I was like, no, hold on a second. This is not right. So I step back and I lean into myself. So I do, my meditations and everything was pointed out that I need to take self-care of myself. I need to take care of me. What does Michaela need? What is she missing? Because I'm a strong believer, as I have my cup in here, it says half full. But might start to be half empty. And that's not how I operate. I'm always half full or overflowing. I'm always overflowing. So when it comes to a little bit of down, I always have stuff to go to. So start noticing me to be more low, more not in the right place. I disconnect with myself, with my intuition, gut feeling, sixth sense, whatever people wanted to call it. Because that's what I kind of listen. I'm leaning to my intuition. What does it say to me? Is this in alignment with me? And everything starts to be disconnected.
Yeah.
Let's take the step back.
Yeah, those are one of the things that comes up as a sign of burnout. And it's really good how you described it, because you don't fully know what you're looking at unless you know what the signs are. Then you know what it is that is happening to you. You can see it in its fullness, in its context. So you can then look to do something about it. But if you're just stuck in the zone of not knowing what's happening, I just feel off, things aren't right, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
So that's really good that you shared that with us. How did this thing play out? And also when it comes to your relationship, because burnout can have it can ruin relationships, period.
Oh, massively.
If you don't get a handle on it. So that's really good that you shared that with us. Yeah, thank you. So you just started to share how you were able to overcome burnout, and you're mentioning your self-care and realizing that you had to kind of prioritize yourself and put yourself first. This is a problem that a lot of clients have, whereby they can't prioritize themselves. They find it very, very difficult to do so. Everybody else comes first. Everybody else must have their needs met, and you can see to yours later. And sometimes with some mums, later never comes. So how did you get to the point of being able to prioritize yourself?
Okay, I was same. I was on the 350 million plate, and everything else was, have priority.
Mhm.
And that's why it leads me to the burnout. So what I realized, there was the same pattern over and over again.
Mhm.
So I started to set the boundaries. Okay, this is the keys. You have to set the boundaries. And I'm not saying you have to go for the spa weekend, and which costs lots of money. None of this. Just go and buy some nice relaxing salt in the stores, couple of candles, 15 minutes once a week, a bath, okay, with the candles, these salts, bubbles. Grab your phone, put some nice meditation music or relaxing music, put it on the side, and just 15 minutes in the bath. That's all you need. That's how you start. Because we use phones and we are glued to it, and we see these people, oh, how perfect life they have. And that brings you down,
Mhm.
Secondly, what I did, I went through my social media, and everybody who wasn't in alignment, they get off. I delete them. I went strictly, I delete lots of people, lots of friends I had, and I started to follow the people who giving me what I needed, who nourishing me, who I can see as my idols as a such. Oh, she's doing really well. What does she do? What is her
Mhm.
routine? A little by little, and this is what I do regularly. Every 3 months, I go through my social media, I follow, unfollow people. I do these clutterings thing, and it really helps me because I find new people like you, people like others. I don't want to kind of mention all of them because there's lots of them that I can. But when I look at their profiles or what they post, it feels really good with me. It really sits with me. And that's how I started. So the 15 minutes there we all have, because if you have a half an hour for your phone for your Facebook, Instagram, you have a 15 minutes for yourself. That's without a doubt. And people have said to me, and probably to you most, oh, but I have 2 kids. Yeah, put them in the bed, run your bath, and have the 15 minutes for yourself. Just forget everything about. Just forget everything about. I don't care if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't care what day it is. You can do it evening, so do it in lunchtime. Who says you can't have a bath at lunchtime? People come to me, can't do it evening, do daytime. Well, daytime bath, so what? Who cares? This is you. You are the boss. You are the boss, and you decide when and how you have your bath. Full
Exactly.
stop. And it's this simplicity, I start
Yeah.
to run the bath. I start to buy just a nail varnish for my nails. Okay.
Mhm.
Doing that. I start doing a mask for my hair, for example, and I can see, okay, my nails are nicely growing. My hair feels really nice and those are the little things that start. So basically what I started doing was raising my standards and going up. And once I raise them, I wanted more. So then I raised the bar again, then again, and then again. And that's how it all started. I put the
That's
boundaries.
awesome. That's great. I like that. That's very descriptive. Now, the thing that I just want to quickly address is the thinking that we can come up against as coaches, that resistance. Mindset is so important. I'm sure
Yeah.
as a spirituality clarity coach, you understand just how important mindset is. What women that suffer with burnout tend to do is build up in their mind all of the obstacles as to why they cannot make time. And time is something that has to be made. It's not abracadabra. You have to
Yeah.
make room for the things that you need to do for yourself. And when it comes to self-care, a lot of the time the first thing that pops up in your head is I've got to get my nails done, my feet done, or my hair done. These things that can be largely very time consuming. I've got to take a whole day. And it's good that you pointed out that it can be something such as 15 minutes, and you can engage in things like journaling as well to just have that outlet, and they start to build up and actually become a part of your lifestyle practices. And this is what helps one not go into burnout, is where you make these changes, these things that you do so that you're catering for yourself, so that you won't
Exactly.
actually end up burnt out. And it's to tackle that mindset that says I'm too busy, I don't have the time.
Yeah.
And often putting children forward as excuses as to why you can't, which is quite ironic, because to beat burnout is going to put you in a better position to be a better mum to your children, because you've filled your cup, you've got more to give. So it's very interesting when you look into the psyche that we encounter.
With mindset, there is a simple rule. What I will tell: looking in your phone and go to the settings. How long you're spending on your social media?
Right. Yeah.
In your settings, you can go and see. Let's say you're spending. Say you spend like 5 hours on your phone, and which it will go kind of in color coding, and let's say 2 hours on the Facebook, an hour on Instagram or whatever. So if you have a time for Facebook and Instagram, or 5 hours spending on your phone, you don't have a 15 minutes for yourself. Don't argue.
Exactly.
Argue. So you make the time for the Facebook and everything, but you don't make the time for yourself. I'm not, for example, my kids, they're out and everything. I'll even give them a tablet, an iPad, whatever they want. Go and watch. The older one is obviously can look after the younger one. And I will go and have my 10 minutes bath, for example. Yes, it usually ended up that the little one, I want to have a bath with mommy. But I have the beginning, the 5 to 10 minutes for myself. And then I'm recharged. And when the younger one wants to, we have a great time. I'm smiling. I'm refreshed.
Presence with your children.
Exactly. And then we build much better relationship, because you want to be the mom who always is, don't do this, or you want to be the mom, okay, good darling, can you give mommy 10 minutes, please? And the child will learn, because they will copy you. Okay, and your boy or girl will know, if I give you 10 minutes, I'm on a tablet, it's brilliant, I'm a winner. Usually my mom is taking it away that from me, You give him a little something, little treat. There are the ways around. You go and have your 10 minutes bath, which is running while you're setting up your child with a tablet and little treat or whatever. Your bath, he or she is fine. The bath is ready. You jump in. You put the music on and you relax. 5-10 minutes. And it becomes your standard, because you will feel better. And you start. So the time, I always go on your phone. Tell me how long you spend on your social media, and then we can talk about the time, okay? Because many people have a time for those, but don't have time for them. So then, don't argue with me on this one, because I'm very kind of like, no, this is the one thing that you're not going to argue.
I know, we bring the proof. Now, that's pretty awesome. I think that burnout really is a sign of deeper issues. And that example that you just gave about making time for yourself and the excuses that come up, and, spending time on social media and having that time, prioritizing that above your need to give to yourself, is really rooted in a deeper issue. Why would you prioritize social media above the need for you to have some me time that's going to help you, recalibrate so that you can actually be more present in life, give your body what it needs, and just connect with yourself. So that was a brilliant example. So I want to ask you now, how can people actually get in contact with you as you're a spiritual clarity coach?
People can find me on my website, which is www.whynotyounow.co.uk. They can find me on Facebook with my name, Michaela Hornak, or over on my Instagram at Spiritual Clarity Coach. So they can find me, which I'm also sharing lots of free stuff. I've got a Facebook private group where I'm doing masterclasses and everything. And there is a lot more to come from me this year. So, yeah.
That's excellent. Well, I am Aisha Mohammed, and I am the burnout coach for mums. And you can work with me by my website, which is bestyouinmotion.com. and I am doing a masterclass as well, and that's going to be on the 28th of March that I'm inviting you to, and it's based upon an overwhelm. So many mums are overwhelmed. It's unreal. So I'm going to be going over how you can actually achieve calm, and I really would love to see you there. So stay tuned to this podcast and also my social media pages, which is Aisha Mohammed on Facebook and the Burnout Coach on Facebook too. That's another business page. And over on Instagram, it's Breakout from Burnout. So I look forward to you joining me again next week. And thank you so much, Michaela, for coming on and telling us your story. I absolutely love hearing it. You are a phenomenal woman, being able to, make your way out of burnout, not once, but 3 times. And, know how to now stop yourself from going into that cycle again with everything that you have learned. And also out of that, knowing that you want to serve other women through being a spiritual clarity coach. And clarity is so, so, so important in life. Once you are clear in what it is that you want, then you can put a plan of action in to make it happen. So thank you. Catch me next Tuesday, 1 p.m. GMT, for another episode of the Triumph Over Burnout Mum series on the Breakout from Burnout podcast. Take care.